Story 1. Me, male 31, and my former friend Austin, male 35, have known each other since we were teenager. His family were our neighbors and me and him used to hang out a lot. We did everything together. Went to school together, went on trips together, wore each other's clothes and bought a car together. He was like the brother I never had. In my early 20s I struggled with last-stage kidney failure and was on dialysis for 7 months. My family couldn't donate a kidney to me because of history of chronic illness. Austin got tested and he was a match. He ended up donating his kidney, although didn't want him to be involved because after what I experienced, I was worried that he'd get sick or something. I didn't know then, but he was fine. I got better but still had to deal with other medical problems. I got engaged to my former fiancée a year after. She was with me during that time and supported me a lot. Myself, Austin and my ex used to spend a lot of time together. There was a period when my fiancée and I hit talk bottom. Whenever she and I fought, Austin get in the middle, every time. Until he started taking sides, getting too involved in my relationship with my fiancée and even suggested that I end things, but I didn't listen. In 2 months or so, Austin's brother informed him that Austin and my ex were seeing each other behind my back, and he wanted to tell me for a whole week after Austin brought her to his brother's place. I found further evidence of an affair. I was devastated. I ended both relationships but wasn't angrier at Austin than my ex. I was mourning my relationship with Austin more than my ex. No one agreed that I cut contact with the one who stood by me when I was in need. I found myself fighting with everyone, saying what he did for me was huge deed, and I was made to be ungrateful and bitter. They still blamed me for cutting contact even after Austin and my ex made their relationship public. It didn't last long, and from there he kept trying to reconcile. He kept reaching out to me, talking about our friendship, the rough periods we endured together, and said that he wasn't himself when he did what he did. He said he ended it 2 months later because he got back to his senses and realized what he lost and wanted to make things right with me. He called from different numbers, got others involved to try and get us to reconcile. He kept coming over to my place, kept trying to force a conversation at public places. He didn't stop till I threatened to take legal action against his constant mistreatments. After that he stopped all attempts to contact me. That was in 2016. I heard he moved away and met someone, and they're currently engaged. He moved back to our hometown in April. His wedding is in July. I had his brother bringing me messages from him and tried to take my number so we could talk about finally working things out and including me in his wedding as his best man. I remember that we promised to be each other's best man when we were young, but I refused and stopped talking to his brother. Austin then spoke to my friends, and they were shocked when they heard about our story. They didn't know Austin and weren't aware of what I went through. They blamed my ex, saying she got in between and used us both, and insisted that I reconcile with Austin because he helped me out and was willing to donate his body organ to end my suffering. Plus he ended his relationship with my ex, and that's how I know he cares about me and I should give our relationship a second chance. They said the same thing as my family. They're pushing me to let Austin contact me to work this out and leave it behind. I started feeling hesitant. Austin's done more to me than anyone else has. Trust me, I endured a lot of pain because of the fact that we no longer saw each other. But something is stopping me from moving on from what he's done. I don't care who started what, but Austin caused me so much pain with what he did. He gave you a life, only to take it another way. I agree, the ex was bad, but what Austin did was deplorable. Everyone blames the ex. Nice and convenient now she's out of the way. Affairs are not a one-way street, they both cheated on you. I'm sorry Austin lives with regrets, but he had choices and he made crappy ones. The fact that he ended it with your mutual ex is too little too late. Yes, he donated a kidney and helped you, but then he screwed your ex behind your back too. So the one pretty much cancels out the other. You owe him nothing. Austin should probably go to therapy to work on how to live with what he did, because you owe him no absolution or forgiveness. Because he helped me out and was willing to donate his body organ to end my suffering, doesn't mean you're an indentured servant. To be blunt, thank him one final time for his sacrifice and then tell him to duck off and leave you alone. He made his bed, now it's time to lay in it. My advice? Don't reconcile with Austin if you don't want to. Don't let others make that decision for you by guilting you into reconciliation. From your description, Austin kind of sounds like a controlling and manipulative friend. I get that you guys were close and he did a wonderful thing when he gave you his kidney, but love like that shouldn't come with strings attached. If family and friends want to guilt you over your decision, that's their problem. You have a right to feel betrayed and hurt by Austin's actions. People are not all good or all bad, they can do a lot of great things for people and hurt people in equal measure. Just because Austin was a good friend to you in the past doesn't mean he gets to cash in his get out of friendship jail card for this very hurtful thing he did to you. What's stopping you from patching things up with Austin is the very understandable fear that he would hurt you again. Sometimes a formative and wonderful relationship has its time and place. We are not meant to hold on to all relationships forever. Austin was never a friend. If he truly was your friend, he would have never cheated with your ex. It's the absolute bare minimum and he couldn't even do that. Instead of respecting your wish for no contact, he's sending his flying monkeys, brother and mutual friends, to butt in your life again. You don't owe him a damn thing. That's not true. They were best friends for majority of their lives and he gave him his kidney. Only friends do that. He was his friend. But not anymore. Judging by the way Austin's been obsessive about getting in contact with OP despite OP's more than reasonable boundaries, he most likely only donated his kidney to have control over him. I did X for you, so no you owe me Y and Z, and the rest of the alphabet. He called from different numbers, got others involved to try and get us to reconcile. He kept coming over to my place, kept trying to force a conversation at public places. He didn't stop till I threatened to take legal action against his constant mistreatments. After that he stopped all attempts to contact me. This is all you need to know about Austin's motivations. His desire to reconcile is to ease his conscience, not to make things right by you, if at all possible. While his remorse could be couched in some truth, how he chose to express it just belied how little he cares about you. After all, he never listened to your feelings and wants, even as he was apologizing. It literally took legal threats to get him to stop. From this, I have a pretty strong suspicion of what's going on. Austin, from as soon as the affair with your fiancée began, was spinning a narrative painting everybody but himself as culpable. You weren't grateful enough for his friendship or your fiancée's support, so they bonded over their mutual neglect. Barf. By the time they got together, the relationship between ex-fiancé and Austin was all but gone, so it wasn't really cheating, right? Barf. Reconciling with you is the last piece of the false reality foundation his current relationship is being built upon. Your presence at the wedding, enthusiastic or no, will be used like a cudgel in the future against, probably correct, claims of infidelity. Babe, how could you think I'm cheating? Do you think I'd put someone else through that after what happened with OP? Your social circle, because it has been entwined with Austin's from a young age, has been slowly marinating in Austin's narcissistic worldview for decades. I'd almost put money down that he did the kidney donation for the social brownie points instead of a desire to help keep you alive. If people are really going to hold this over your head, I'd start to really fight back against that. Being enslaved to Austin because of a choice he made himself is insane behavior, and your friends/family need to ducking chill. He wants to reconcile so he has a good excuse when his fiancée/wife thinks he's cheating on her. Making up with a best friend will throw her off guard. Everyone in your life are ducking fools. You let him back in and he will hurt you again. This is an interesting motive. Wonder if the fiancé even knows about what he did? All the flying monkeys in this story are obnoxious. Even if they reconciled, their friendship from before is gone. This friendship will be one where Austin cheated with OP's fiancée. Could be true. I mean, from reading the whole thing, Austin is full of crap and a serious narcissist. A year after donating an organ to his best friend, he's sleeping with his friend's future wife. Was that supposed to be payment for services rendered? Obviously none of their mutual friends knew the whole story until years later, but they still think OP should forgive? That tells me Austin's telling of the story still left some things out, or he's playing sufferer saying OP's ex manipulated him. I don't think this guy wants forgiveness. He wants a cover story for his future affairs, or he wants to see just how bad he'd duck OP over again. Never ever invite Austin back into your life. And of course you are not obligated to reconcile to him just because he donated his kidney to you. I agree with all of the commenters here saying he's a manipulator due to the fact that he's still trying to manipulate you by using your friends. The audacity. It will be better for your mental health to remain no contact with him forever as he is causing you mental distress. Also, go no contact to the friends who's insisting you to reconcile to him because they will eventually wear you down. They should mind their own business. They seem to care more for Austin than you. Better drop them right away. Worldwide comments of the day. You can't trust what she says, yet you stayed with her. Never do this, you're only destroying your mental and physical health by always being on edge, similar to the first OP. She'll only think lesser of you for not throwing her into the streets. You'll never see her the same way again, so why bother? Did she feel forsaken when she was benefiting from your hard work? The moment she said she doesn't know about reconciliation is the time divorce papers are served. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.